We're broadcasting from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios.
Visit MTE.com.
Middle Tennessee Electric, serving to make life better since 1936.
This is a WGNS Action Line. Talking with Rutherford County newsmakers
since 1947.
This is a WGNS Action Line. Now, your host, Scott Walker.
Murfreesboro Parks and Rec in studio. Nate Williams, director, with us today. How are you this morning?
I'm good, Scott. How are you?
I'm good. So before we get started on any subjects or anything, what all are we going to talk about this morning? Have you got like a complete overview of how you want this to go?
Well, it's my show, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm just joking. No, I think we were talking. I think
yeah,
kind of fell apart. Sorry, I'm gonna stop.
He just broke the microphone.
We're off to a hot start here. We like to talk a lot about what's going on with Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation. Always something good happening, and especially we've woken up the past couple of mornings with it a little bit cooler outside. It makes us think about some of our favorite times of the year when it comes to being outside and upcoming fall activities. Kids are back in school, but we don't slow down at all. So
yeah, I'm just surprised it's gotten a little cooler out there. It feels a lot better.
It's all relative though, right? Because I was outside the other day and it was 90 degrees and I was talking to somebody and they're like, oh my gosh, it feels so good out here because we're used to 110 with the heat index. But I think that's just a great time to get outside. We've had a lot of busyness that's happened indoor, and then our pools and our greenway stays busy, but this is a time where you kind of just see the whole dichotomy of what we have to offer from a park system. And one of those places that we're super proud of is Patterson Park Community Center. We wanted to bring Dr. Janelle Jenkins, our great superintendent at Patterson. Patterson has served. She can talk about the history if you want to at some point. It's just a fascinating facility, how it's evolved since the 60s and 70s, and the place that it's had in our community. But now it serves really as our quintessential community center. You go in there and there's so many different types of activities, and we've just completed some renovations out there, and part of that was adding 80 new parking spots, and it's still short of parking because of everything happening out there. So I thought it'd be fun this time to talk about all the things we usually talk about. Thomas and Rachel are here to go over some of the upcoming events and stuff, but really highlight some of the great things that are happening with our great team at Patterson.
And the brand new splash pad, I guess, was one of the latest additions in addition to the parking. But the splash pad, how has that gone so far since it has opened?
Oh, phenomenal. The community absolutely love the addition of the splash pad. We have families waiting for the water to start every day. So it's just nonstop action. And even with school starting back, it is still one of the biggest hits at our facility.
And how big of an area does that cover? How many, I guess, obstacles and things for kids to jump over and splash in? How big is it?
Well, it's really a cool, what we call a spray ground, actually. So it's just similar to the system at the fountains. So water, we have 2 water features there, and then it's about 12 components of different designs of all of the water features there. So it is phenomenal. So there's so many types of designs that the water features create that the kids will just love to play and run around and just have a great time.
To preserve the water, the system is designed where it's a push button, so it just doesn't run all the time. So if there's a lull in one section of it, a kid can go push it, or an adult, their parent. But that's a way to preserve water, and it's really unique. And I think when we were going through the design process, which we've been going for the past several years, looking at what the master plan for the Patterson campus would look like, we with the splash pad wanted something that when it wasn't in service, it was still nice, kind of a plaza space that'll serve right next to the new playground as well.
And this is your first step into splash pads and splash grounds and all of that. This is the first one in Murfreesboro.
Yes, it is. And we're just excited to bring it right to the heart of the city.
So when designing this whole thing, putting all that together, I mean, what did you have to look at and think about whenever you actually did put it all together?
Well, the same thing that Nate said. So Nate was definitely influential with the design process, really explaining the type of feature that we really needed. We definitely wanted something that could be preserved for years to come, and exactly the components of having the two structures there where it's just a button that you push, and the water features are only for 90 seconds each. So the design process, I definitely give credit to Nate there, just bringing a new element to our facility.
So Nate did it all.
No, that's not. Kind of gave us that. We had a big team working together. I thought one of the most fun parts of that, when we go into these design processes, and I'm thinking back 4 years ago, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but we had a time where we were doing this master plan, looking at what the campus could look like, and we brought a lot of the kids in who come every day and listen to them about what they wanted in the playground and what they'd like to see. And that's a fun process to be able to listen, to them, and then also to see those kids be able to experience that process of design and engineering and see it to come to fruition.
And kids are so funny. I mean, you never can tell what they're going to say or dream up.
Right.
What are some of the things you heard from kids throughout that process whenever you first started kind of introducing them to the idea?
Right. Well, of course, they wanted the big features, right? The slides and also it was great to hear the nostalgia that some of the kids asked for, because not only do we have a new splash pad, but we also have a new playground as well. So to hear them talk about they would like to see like swings and just the good old slide and monkey bars, that was just great to hear from the kids. And so we were able to also create a very inclusive playground as well that has some of those features. So we did listen to those kids, and they loved the fact that they really listen to us, and so they have some ownership there.
And have you seen some adults out there playing with the kids as well?
Of course. And I would say definitely about 2 weeks ago, I saw my first adult. He had his swim gear on, running around in the splash pad. So it's just so sweet to see that.
That was actually Thomas after a meeting at Patterson. He walked outside and it was too hot, so we just had to run through it. But one of the other cool things that I don't want to get missed in this enhanced outdoor experience that we have, the storybook trail out there, and that's a great partnership, and I'd love for Janelle to talk about kind of how that came to fruition.
Yeah. So we received a phone call to collaborate with the United Way in regards to implementing a storybook trail at our facility. And then also I have to definitely give credit to Assistant Director here, Rachel Singer, who was also influential with that. So when we had the idea of creating this storybook trail, because it's just a great addition to all of the new elements outside. So the book is called We Share This Neighborhood, and it just really tells the story of the legacy of Patterson and what our facility is all about, and that's to create an inclusive place for all individuals in the neighborhood to play together. You see storybook trails with the Smyrna Parks and Recreation at their library there. So it was just a great opportunity for our department to collaborate with the United Way as well as the Rutherford County Library System.
I remember when Patterson Park was like a kind of a red brick building that sat there, and it wasn't massive. I mean, it was a lot different from what it looks like today. I mean, talk about a major change over the years. And for anybody who grew up in Murfreesboro, I'm sure a lot of folks remember the old Patterson Park versus what it looks like today.
Right. And the original facility was built in 1979. So we're almost 50 years old. So, it's just amazing. And I know I spoke about the legacy, but it's just so true that the legacy is just ingrained even before the facility structure was there. It was the park where families would gather. And of course, we have a shared campus now. So we have several educational institutions there, from the history and the legacy of Holloway High School to Bradley School, and now our Patterson Park Community Center is just ingrained in that whole legacy. And it's just great how we all can come together and just continue to grow and evolve. And the outdoor expansion is just icing on the cake for all of the continued growth that we're experiencing.
I think that, looking back to the mid-'90s, they looked at Patterson, our community leaders led by Ron Washington, Dr. Gloria Bonner, and the council put together a study group to say, hey, we think we can make a broader impact right here, for the community. And this study group came back and said, yeah, if we can do these enhancements and grow, I don't even know if we call it an addition or an expansion, because it was, just a explosion of this facility to make it 110,000 square feet, include a theater that's vibrant, an aquatics facility, wellness, meeting rooms. You can keep all the things I could go on and on about what it has, but there's so much foresight to that, and I give that generation of thinking credit now, almost 30 years later,
right,
about what we have and what we still offer, and the busyness and the impact that a place like Patterson has on individuals and families, but people of all ages.
And Patterson Park is right in the middle of really multiple neighborhoods, and really, I guess the only other park that you have in the middle of neighborhoods would be Barfield Park, because even Sportscom, that's surrounded by mainly commercial businesses on both sides.
Yeah, but all of our facilities do have neighborhood connections. I think Veterans Park, when that's online, that's going to be just flanked by neighborhoods. But, Sportscom is within walking distance. A lot of people do use that facility. I think of the Wilderness Station as, close to some residential areas. So we consider access an important thing. And I'd say you'd be surprised, how much residential access there is. But Patterson, you're right. It's right in the middle, within walking distance, and serves really as a staple for a lot of kids after school, a lot of kids before school, and the impact that we're trying to have on families to just better our community.
Unlike a outdoor swimming pool, I'm sure the splash pad, the splash ground, that can be used later in the year too.
Yes, that is correct. So our whole season for our splash pad, we open up the splash pad in April, and then we go all the way to October. So it definitely gets great use in those months.
What have some of the kids kind of told you since opening the splash pad? What's like, I don't know, the funniest comment you've gotten or the most fun comment you've gotten?
Well, I will tell you this. The most common comment or question that I've received is, can we open it earlier? So that's a constant where kids are wanting to open up the splash pad as early as 7 a.m. They want to get out there, right? Yeah. So, but as far as the funniest moments, I guess it's just me. Just when I go and just kind of watch all the families gather there, it gives me such joy and such a great feeling to see kids of all ages, and especially families. That has been tremendous, just to see families playing together in the splash pad, at the playground, and it's definitely brought demographic of family back together to play, and it's just been great.
And can you rent out areas of the splash pad, like for birthdays, kind of like the swimming pool and park pavilions? Can you rent out portions of it?
Yes, we can. So we have reserved days and times for that. That's normally done Thursday through Sunday, and if anyone is interested in that, you can always call Patterson, and we will definitely give you that information. And so when you reserve the splash pad, we require you to also reserve the pavilion, because we just want to make sure that you have that total package experience and where there's no interruption.
And if you're looking at Patterson Park from the road, where is the splash pad in relation to like the parking lot, the pavilion, everything?
So it's right next to our outdoor courts, and you can't miss it. So it's in a great open space there right in the front of the building. So you'll see the playground and the splash pad right next to each other. And then you have the outdoor courts as well. So it is not near the parking lot at all.
Scott, you mentioned, or Janelle mentioned the courts, and I know pickleball is so important right now, and it's a vital part of people's lives.
I live for pickleball.
You live for pickleball, yeah. No. So we are understanding the pickleball explosion, and those courts at Patterson get a lot of use. And I know there's been some concern. People have reached out, and we've talked about it, about the condition of those courts. We're actively working on that. We've got some warranty issues that we're working through with that surfacing, but also we have some structural issues that we're working with. So, people I talk to, I'm asking just to give us a little patience, or be patient with us and show us a little grace as we work through this. It's not a simple fix. So we're trying to keep them open as long as we can, as long as they're safe. But we just want people to know we're not ignoring it. We're not turning a blind eye toward it. It's just a little bit more complicated. So it's something we have to work through, but we are working through it.
Now, do you foresee pickleball courts eventually being added to all the different park locations, or just certain ones?
It's a loaded question, Scott. Every single park put pickleball, you think?
I don't know.
I think we have to continue to monitor, the community need. And right now we assess there is more of a community need for more pickleball courts. If you go to Old Fort, we just renovated those courts, added 6 new courts, and those a lot of times have standing room only to get on. So we'll add 8 with the addition of Veterans Park and continue to ride this wave as responsibly as we can.
And what about more splash pads? Is that something that you think you're going to add to parks in the future?
It's something we always take into consideration anytime we're developing a park. So there's no imminent plans, but there's that handful of things that we know that we need to continue to look at. And as the property and the spaces become available and as we develop more, we do listen to the residents and then the needs, and we master plan these things out about what we need and what fits in the right places, and do it as responsibly as we can to make sure we really satisfy the need of the residents of Murfreesboro and the people visiting Murfreesboro.
When you look at all the parks as a whole, are there a few things that stand out that are more heavily used than other things?
I mean, I think everything we have is very busy. Our ball fields, we need, you look at the soccer renovation we just did. Look at the existing ball fields. We need more ball fields. That's a council priority to get more ball fields, and we're working on that actively. But, you look at soccer, we just did a whole renovation. We could add 10 more soccer fields. We need more of everything, and we're working towards that and looking at different grant opportunities, different donation opportunities that have happened that I think there's some people in Murfreesboro who see the vision of what we're trying to do within the park system and want to add to that. So we've got some unique advantages, and we're working toward that.
We had a question texted in, and by the way, folks can text in at 615-893-1450. But the question was asking, what was the most popular program you did over the summer for kids?
Oh, wow. Great question. So one unique concept with Patterson Park Community Center is that we have several summer programs happening all at once because we have a youth development division. And so we offered our summer enrichment program that's offered every summer. So we had a great turnout with our summer enrichment program. And then Nate mentioned that we have the theater. So the theater staff was just phenomenal, bringing multiple camps to Patterson with their theater program. And then, of course, we have our swim team, swim lessons, we have instructors there that were offering swim lessons throughout the whole summer. And then we also offered a running camp. So big shout out to our fitness and wellness program for putting on a great running camp at the beginning of the summer. So everything was happening at Patterson. So I definitely say all of the camps and programs that we offered this summer were top notch, and we had one of the best summers yet.
Awesome. And then Nate, were you going to say something?
No.
Which camp did you attend?
I was going to text in a question for myself, though.
Oh, good.
I was going to tee myself up for a good question. But Janelle makes a great point, and I think it's just a good illustration, of what's happening at Patterson. If you go in Patterson, you walk in and there's a desk that you're facing, and that person kind of acts as an air traffic controller, pointing people to the pool, theater, meeting room A, B, C, dining room, wellness track, So there's a lot of stuff happening. But, you mentioned something about the diversity of all the different offerings we have. We have that across the park system. Our team works really diligently and really hard to come up with unique things and bring a lot of passion to it, because we want to bring passion, to people, because I think a life with passion is a life with purpose. So we've been exposed to the youth and people as many things as possible. I think, Rachel, something I was thinking about we did this past weekend was the ladies' night out at Barfield, right? And I did not go. Somebody was let me clarify. I was trying to say somebody was telling me about the unique experience they had there. They said they went kind of on a whim. I was not there. But they said it was really awesome. They had people had their phones away. They just connected, people of all ages. And I think that type of stuff is just creative and unique and creates, awesome experiences.
So ladies' night out, it was at Barfield Park?
It is, yes. And so this was the year anniversary. They've been offering this, and it's just it's a great program. But yeah, ladies are just welcome to come out, and they'll do anything from hiking. Sometimes they go to a state park, or sometimes they'll stay more local. Kayaking. You know, they had a campfire was this Saturday. So yeah, it's a real neat little community.
So when they go like kayaking and stuff like that, are they doing that at night when it's ladies' night?
No.
Okay.
The kayaking we don't do at night.
That would kind of be a new twist on it, I guess.
It would be a twist, right? We'll have to look into that.
That's right. So how did you go about starting Ladies' Night Out, and what are some of the things that y'all have done?
Yeah, this is just another shout out to creative staff, but they really listen to what the community wants. And that one kind of spurred off from people bringing their kids to the wilderness station, and then moms saying, can you offer something like this for us? And the staff said, actually, we can. And so they started it. And like I said, they just, they got a really great response. And some of those ladies come to every single one. So, you know, just kind of make new friendships, and then obviously welcome newcomers too.
Now, do they bring their kids with them, or is that usually?
It's an adult.
Okay.
Yep. It was really cute this Saturday, and they've done this before, but because it was the year anniversary, they did a s'mores bar and mocktails.
Oh wow!
And so very creative drinks. You know, I think there was one called like a sunset something, and yeah, it was really cute.
And that was is it always going to be at Barfield Park?
Not always, nope. You know, you register through the wilderness station always, but like I said, they can go off campus. They can go to state parks and do some hikes there, or anywhere around the city.
And I bet that is something, because I could imagine if I were a mom, it'd be nice to kind of get away every once in a while.
Right.
So
well, I think the moms see, and the dads too, see how much fun the kids are having at these programs, and so they just want to get involved too.
Do they ever play archery tag?
You know, I don't know if we've offered that for ladies' night out, but we have
fun.
done it for adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds a little dangerous.
We'll do it
that's
here
super
next
fun.
time.
Archery tag?
Live archery tag in this
Right here
12 by 10 space.
That sounds perfect.
With 5 of us.
That's right. I'll be outside the room.
So much room for activity.
That's right. That's right. Now, Barfield Park, it has something that none of the other parks have, and that's the mountain bike course. How has that gone? Because it's now, what, is it 8 years? How many years has that been ongoing now?
It's been open for a while. It's a really pretty course. I am not a mountain biker, but you know, from what I hear, people love the advanced trails, because even the beginner one is, you know, a little bit more advanced than maybe some other parks, but it really does offer some good challenges, and then of course Barfield's so pretty, so kind of getting that scenery in with the extra challenge, I think has been good.
We offered not us, we partnered with Sorba to put on the first mountain biking event 2 weekends ago, and it was really popular. It was really hot, but they had, I think, over 100 people participate, and it's not a race, it's a skills challenge and kind of a time trial. So
So was that held on the actual mountain bike trail?
Yeah, on the mountain bike trails, and it was really popular. So
sounds cool. I mean, and there's not a lot of mountain bike courses or tracks, you know, in Middle Tennessee, at least not that I know of.
There's some, in Murfreesboro, this is the only one, but it's very unique. I think it's that's why people are drawn to it. It's just the uniqueness of the skills challenge, and it's definitely not a place you go and flow and ride fast, but you're focusing on what you're doing at that moment when you're doing it.
You kind of have to, I guess. And then, of course, the skate park, that was something new that was added just a couple of years ago as well, and then the pump track too. Yeah.
I think that's something we've needed for a long time. I think we found the place, we talked about it for a couple of years about where to put it, where would make the most sense. And we looked at where the old pavilions at the Old Fort Park were and figured that would be the best. And, it stays very, very busy. It's a destination for people to come to. I think people are really pleased with the end product. And with the skate park, it's always pleasant to see when you go by. It's people of all ages, all skill abilities. Working together, people teaching, people the etiquette and how to make it a fun and safe place.
One of the questions we had, what is there for teenagers to do? And I think skate park would be one of them.
I think anything, I think anything with our courts, as far as pickleball, has been very popular. We've got a lot of open spaces, a lot of places to bike. Our facilities have a lot to offer for teenagers. I think you can go to murfreesboroparks.com, and that's the place where I'd say you'd find anything for anybody of any age or any ability. And Thomas Laird, our expert disc golfer, reminds us that there's 2 disc golf courses we have, one at Barfield Park and one at the Central Valley Trailhead. So that's a great activity to take up, and it's completely free. At the Wilderness Station, we do have discs you can rent or borrow to be able to experience it for the first time. And I just recommend, if you don't want to feel bad about yourself, don't play with Thomas, because he's really good.
Now, are there still a lot of different game or contests going on with disc golf, or different tournaments and stuff?
We've got a really vibrant local organization club that's based out of here in Murfreesboro. So they offer one big tournament, which is I guess the sanctioned professional level tournament at each course. And then there's the anniversary tournament, the Rutherford Anniversary, which includes all 3 courses, Smyrna included, so there's basically 4 big tournaments every year. But they run a monthly series and a weekly series. There's doubles at pretty much any day of the week around Middle Tennessee. It's unbelievable how much it's grown since the COVID. I saw a thing the other day, the Professional Disc Golf Association just registered their 333,333 member.
And that's nationwide, or?
Nationwide, or worldwide, I guess. But before the COVID, they were pushing 100,000. So it's almost tripled in the last few years. It's unbelievable.
Thomas brings up a great point, not about disc golf, but through that season of kind of craziness in COVID, a lot of people experience Parks and Recreation for the first time in Murfreesboro, because they, had their normal gym or whatever, and then they could only access the Greenway or parks. And during that time, I'm thankful for the leadership that we had at a city council, city administration level, where we remained open for the most part, and I think became a critical place for people to be able to come and interact. We had spaces, but I look back at that time, it was kind of strange, but it changed the way we did things, and I think it exponentially increased the amount of people who utilize the park system that we have for all it has to offer. Yeah,
the parks were one of those places where you could still get out and do something, as opposed to staying inside your house and isolating.
Yeah, and there was a weird couple weeks where we shut down our indoor facilities, but again, it goes back to our team. We wanted to open back up. Everybody realized we needed to be working together. We work for the community. We wanted to brainstorm ways to come up to be able to remain open, and we were fortunate that our leadership that we had said, "Yeah, go for it."
Yeah.
So we were shut down just a minimal amount of time compared to a lot of other places, and then offered just a space where people can feel normal again just a little bit.
It's one of the few places where you didn't have to Zoom, to see the park. You could actually go there in person.
Yeah, but I think but we say it all the time. People started using the Greenway, and then it really just peeled back the curtain of all we have to offer, and it's never been the same since.
And of course, the Greenway, what is it, 17 miles? How long is the Greenway now?
Total about 20 miles when you include all of our trail system. People look at the North Murfreesboro Trail, and Rachel can talk about really all that has to offer, but it's a unique space. If people have been walking on the normal Greenway, the regular Greenway that was established in the mid-90s, try out the North Murfreesboro Trail just as a change of venue.
Yeah. And the North Murfreesboro Trail, is that what starts at Thompson Lane, that area?
No, that one starts at Walter Hill, goes to Central Valley, and then pushes on a little bit past Central Valley. But as far as parking, that's the terminus there. And
I know I've asked this before, but I know there were thoughts of connecting the Greenway in Murfreesboro to Smyrna. Is that something that is kind of on the drawing board still?
I think we're always looking at that, and just a way to connect all the communities. I'm not going to speak for Smyrna, but I think, looking for them to connect with Nashville eventually. So that would be a neat day.
That would make it a very long trail. I mean, that'd be cool, though.
I think everybody's interested, and that's something everybody keeps in the back of their mind. There's no imminent plans, but you're talking about that would take, federal agencies, local agencies, state agencies to work together to make it happen. I think, eventually it could happen.
Yeah. And I don't know how many miles that would end up equaling, because I don't know how long the Greenway Trail is in Nashville. I mean, does it go along the Stones River?
I actually just heard them talking about that. They have about 100 miles of trail, which I did not realize it was that extensive. So yeah, they've got a lot. I don't believe it all connects, but they do have a lot of trail laid.
That's pretty cool, because there's also a portion of the trail, I think, in downtown Nashville along the Cumberland River. So, I mean, if you could figure out a way to connect all of those together, that would be really wild.
Right. I mean, the pieces are there, but like Nate said, I think we're always looking, and the interest is there. So hopefully one of these days it'll all connect.
That would be awesome. So just need somebody to say, hey, I'll write the check for it.
Right.
Is that what you're doing?
No,
WGNS?
that's what you told me you were doing. That's donating all your funds back to the parks. We got to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. We're talking about Murfreesboro Parks and Rec this morning, and the time right now is 8:50, but stay with us. We do have more to come.
The Action Line on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
You don't have hot dogs or apple pie or no Chevrolet to drive, but we have some hickory smoked wings you're just dying to try. You'll try them, you'll like them, you'll give some to a friend. So on a dare, just stop on by and bring in a friend. Slick Pig Barbecue, 1920 East Main.
If you can dream it, Farrah Construction can turn it into reality. Shop local, Farrah Construction Company. I'm Ron Hall. Investing in property can be nerve-wracking. It does not have to be. Farrah Construction offers high-quality craftsmanship, quick response, and attention to detail. Our goal is to keep your expenses low while focusing on our attention on high-quality services. I'm Ron Hall. Shop local. Let our family business help you. Farrah Construction Company.
Catch up on the latest community news and events, all before you hit your destination. The Rutherford Roundup. Subscribe today wherever you listen to podcasts or visit WGNSradio.com.
Hi, this is Dan with Music World and Drummer's Den. Our prices are as good or better than the box stores. I don't think you'll do better by shopping online than you would by coming in. Something new we've just added to our repertoire is drum repairs. You can have drums cut, covered, rewrapped, new hardware. We will fix them, make them look like new again. I'd like to thank you for coming by to see us again at 2762 South Church, right across from the golf course. Music World and Drummer's Den. Thank you very much for being our customers.
This is Peter Demas. Come eat with us at Demas's Restaurant. A lot of times when you get steamed vegetables such as broccoli or cauliflower, it's either soggy. One of the things that we wanted to do was make certain that it was still soft, but still had a little bit of a crunch to it. And so we worked on the procedure of how to cook that. And then all of our vegetables are seasoned with our seasoned salt. We keep that seasoned salt at home, and I can tell you almost all the vegetables I cook at home have the seasoned salt on it. Come eat with us at Demas's Restaurant on Northwest Broad Street.
The Action Line on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
This morning we're talking about Murfreesboro Parks and Rec, and there's a lot happening. Now, all the summer camps, when did all those wrap up for the most part?
Yeah, right when we went all the way up until school starting. So we had something pretty much every week, except for the week of the 4th of July. But I think we had 30-something camps. So yeah, it's nonstop.
Cool. And before we go on too much further, Veterans Park, that's still under construction, a lot going on out there. I haven't driven past there recently.
Yeah,
so
I was there yesterday. We're pleased with the progress. The playground's pretty much done. The pavilions are pretty much done. Our big flagpole's up. Still working on some site work and trail building. So there's a lot of stuff going on. You know, we're working hard to push that to get it open as soon as possible. Working with our contractor to get some new timelines. We want to remind the community, as soon as we have a projected opening date, we're in the time of construction now, where we probably can project once we get something definitive from them about when we can open. I know people are eager to get on those trails and play pickleball and, book those pavilions and enjoy the event space. So we'll let people know as soon as possible.
And also going on, yoga national, National Yoga Month is next month?
Yeah, September is National Yoga Month, and we have a very talented group of yoga instructors at Patterson Park Community Center. So we will be offering a series of outdoor yoga for the whole month of September. Those yoga classes will kick off at 9 a.m. every Saturday in September. The cost is $6, and so the opportunity is for all ages. I'm sorry, specifically 13 and up. So not all ages, but 13 and up can join in the fun and just have a good time and celebrate National Yoga Month. That's
Cool.
every Saturday in September.
Janelle, are you teaching any of those?
I will not, but I will be participating with my warrior stance. So, but like I said, we have a very talented group of yoga instructors. I mean, they're phenomenal.
Hey, and then Rachel, also hummingbirds. I know you said during the break they are about to officially migrate this area.
Thinking about headed south, which I really like their schedule. I wish I could get on it. But we do a hummingbird festival every year at the Wilderness Station to just kind of send them off. But it's a really neat day dedicated to hummingbirds. And we've got a master bander that is with us every year. So we actually capture the hummingbirds from the feeders, bring them over for the public to see. She'll take a lot of measurements and then put a band on that tiny little leg, and then we let them go. So
and you've been able to track some of these birds all the way to like Mexico, places like that. Where else have you been able to track some of the birds?
Yep. So they go to Central America, and they wear a metal band, so it's not like a GPS tracker. So the only way to be able to track them is if somebody captures them in their southern range, which does happen, but it's not like we can watch it in real time.
Yeah. What is the lifespan of a hummingbird?
It can be pretty short. They've got a lot of challenges because they migrate so far. So, but 3 to 5 years is a good run for them.
And their hearts beat pretty quick. So I mean, that's got to be tough for their body.
They're amazing. Yeah, their heart rates, their metabolism. They're the only bird that can fly backwards.
I didn't know that.
They can fly backwards?
They can fly backwards. Yeah. So they're very acrobatic.
Yeah.
So a lot of people enjoy hummingbirds. They'll put feeders up, and so when the public comes to the event, they've got a ton of questions, because they've been watching them all season, and they want to know why they fight, and they want to know how many feeders they could put up so that they don't fight anymore. And
I didn't know they fight too.
Oh yes,
it's like
they're
MMA
very
out
aggressive. They're very territorial. So it doesn't matter if they're male or female. They're in there scrapping.
I guess I had no idea about all this.
Yeah,
this is
really
interesting.
Neat. So you should come out. It's
yeah,
September 5th.
Watch a fight.
Do they ever fight while they're flying backwards?
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
That is interesting, though.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes see, hummingbird fights break out in the middle of these festivals?
Absolutely.
Rachel has to go break it up. It gets, we have to suspend them,
Yep.
kick him back to Central America.
And when you say they fight, are they like trying to knock each other out of their flight? What are they doing?
Yes, they are. Exactly.
Really?
So they're taking that sword of a beak, and they're going in, not for the kill, but they're trying to run the other off, because they're very territorial with their flowers is how they eat, from the nectar. So and then that's kind of what we're doing with the feeders, is emulating that nectar. So
are they anything like penguins? They mate, stay together for life, or what?
These guys do not. No.
Okay.
They're just opportunistic, I would say.
That is so interesting, though.
Rachel can blow your mind with some animal facts.
Fun facts.
I take any animal question. It could be like Saturday morning at 5 a.m. I'll send her a text message about random animal, and she knows.
Yeah.
Or she makes it up. I'm not sure which one.
A little of both.
Yeah, right.
Bears. We always have to close on the subject of bears.
I feel like it's been a common theme here, Scott.
What was it? 3 years ago that one was spotted, I guess, in Shelbyville, that area, and I don't have heard of any being spotted closer recently.
They had one this summer up north of Nashville again, right?
Oh man.
There was, I thought, in Rutherford County a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they got to be getting closer if they're in Shelbyville and Nashville, you know. They're
Right.
coming both ways towards us. I don't know.
We're being attacked.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if one day you'll have to put a sign up, you know, don't
Bear
feed the
crossing.
bears,
Yeah.
or it could happen. I don't know. I guess
That's what we're going to take away from this.
that's right. I guess as things develop in places like Gatlinburg, I guess they're pushing the bear population further out. I haven't talked to any bears, so I don't know for sure.
We'll see if we can get you an interview.
Yeah. Let's
It's just
set
like
that up.
everybody wants to come to Murfreesboro. It's, you know.
That's right. That's right. And I know we only have like 20 seconds left, but if anybody would like to learn more about anything happening within the parks, the best place to go, I guess, the website.
Yeah, murfreesboroparks.com. Scott's the place to go, or social media, Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation. Patterson has its own Facebook page. Sportscom has its own Facebook page, Senior Center. But a lot of things going on, and we always appreciate the opportunity to come on your show.
Sounds good. Well, thank you all for joining us.